we had a lot of celebrations. Particular, we had the New Year, as well as I think Orissa, as well as Bengal, Assam, and even North India, Baishakhi. Everything has fallen on the same day. A lot of my friends were also on the calls and all. So it's a wonderful season. I think let's hope this year happens to be good. So we will commence our proceedings of the Kathopanishad today. Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyobhyo Namo Namaha Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Stititolaya Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Mati Prabhudan Vadan Nirasya Kritavan Bhuvitattvavadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipata Tam Ananda Tirtha Munivarayam Namami Pujjaya Raghavendraya Satya Dharmarataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadhenave Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vishvidavahaihi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome friends. I think last week we had gone into the up to number 1.1.8. Only the first part of the mantra we have seen. We will see the later part of the mantra. In the meanwhile, because the festivities in Madurai has come to sort of a close. Well, basically it has come to a crescendo. With yesterday was the Meenakshi Thirukalyanam, which you all might have seen in the TVs or as well as in the news. So the entire this Madurai, this entire festivities and all, they have got because the scripturally just to know, because what is the basis on which it is done. There is a scripture called Halasya Mahatmyam. See, that is where it has been written, how these festivities has to come about. Because Halasya is in the sense it is the holy place for Shiva to reside. Halasyam. Halasyam, where he is there, it is the most significant and holy place where Shiva can reside. That is what it says. So in that it has given the story of the entire Meenakshi, how she was born on after a prayer, to a Pandya king, because he is a Malayadvaja. One king was there, and he had one consort, Kanchanamala, because that is a very famous name, because here we know that. Because these things are there in the one Tamil scripture also, but basically the original ideas are found in the Halasya Mahatmya Mandal. And they finally got this child. I think, in fact, the story goes, they did the Putra Kameshti Agam, and finally they found the child in a garden like Gandhar. She was found there. And she was known as Tadadagai Amman, because that was her previous name. And afterwards, when she was brought up, she grew into a sort of she was in all she was very courageous. She was doing everything a man can do and all. Finally, they decided to hand over the entire kingdom, the Pandya kingdom, to her, and she will just let her rule the kingdom and all. But finally, when she became so ambitious, and she was also supposed to be the avatar of Parvati, in the previous birth. So then when she has come, she had a desire to go to Kailash. She went there. When she went there, just to see, because whether she can have her sort of a go at Shiva also to try to defeat him, that is what her intention was. But finally, when she saw Shiva, because she got totally enamored of him, and Shiva also got enamored of her. See, they got, Chokki. Chokki in the sense, you got totally enamored. That's why it's called Sokanadar. Because in Madurai, the deity is called Sokanadar. Sundareshwaran is there. Sokanadar, there is one, another name is there. This is basically in the Halasya Mahatmyam. So basically after that, because then they decided to get married, but he said, he will not be able to leave Kailash. So she will be there in the another form, because called Priyavadai. Priyavadai in the sense she will not be separate from Shiva. So she will be there and as Priyavadai, but she will be ruling as Meenakshi in Madurai, because that is the story. The entire seed is in Halasya Mahatmyam. The Halasya Mahatmyam is incidentally found in one Vyasa's Purana called Skanda Purana. Skanda Purana is one of the magnum opus. It's biggest. All the 18 Puranas are there. Vyasa has written. The Skanda Purana has got 81,000 verses. I think, in fact, 81,000 verses is considered to be the highest, because like Mahabharata is 100,000. Next to that, only the Skanda Purana. Skanda Purana gives to lot of, the importance of the places, importance of the pilgrimage centers, importance of the deities. Like, Arunachala Prabandha, Arunachala Mahatmyam also is there in Skanda Purana. And it has also given lot of procedures for conducting, various pujas like and all. Satyanarayana puja is being normally conducted, but it is in the Reva Kanda of the Skanda Purana. The entire procedure for conducting the Satyanarayana puja is given. See, all these things are in a way, basically that has been taken into, and though it was not prominent, because this Halasya Mahatmyam, finally one of the Pandya kings, because he wanted to take it out, because it has happened in Madurai, because the Madurai temple was very small to begin with. So he wanted to bring it, and the Halasya Mahatmyam was again sort of a written, by great scholars. Finally, it was brought to light by one Nilakanta Dikshitar. Nilakanta Dikshitar is come in the lineage of Appaya Dikshitar. Appaya Dikshitar is one of the greatest Mahan in the Advaita stream, and in fact, he was contemporary of our Vijayendra Tirtha of Kumbakonam. Vijayendra Tirtha and Appaya Dikshitar, they had a lot of debates, because both of them belong to two different streams. And they have produced more enlightening, because it is sort of experience, for highest thought process has come in their discussions. So he has come in the lineage of the Nilakanta Dikshitar. Finally, he brought it out, and that is why this Halasya Mahatmyam has come into being. But simultaneously, there is one Trivilayadal Puranam is there, by one Paranjoti Munivar. He has written that. So basically, whatever is being followed is as per the Paranjoti Munivar, whatever is written. He has basically taken the cue from the Halasya Mahatmyam. In those days, all the Tamil scholars, they were equally versatile in Sanskrit and Tamil. So in fact, they were able to seamlessly, get into both. In fact, some of them has written Sanskrit verses also. A lot of Tamil scholars, the Tamil, the great sort of Sangam scholars, they were written in Sanskrit also. So therefore, there was not much of a difference. Even a lot of Kalidasa's work has also, Kalidasa's and even other Sanskrit works have been made into Tamil. Like, there's some Richakatikam, one big drama was there. That has been translated by one Pandithamani Kadiresam Pillai, called Manniyal Siruther, because that we have read it, because in our school days and all, because we used to have two Tamils. One is general Tamil and one other is specialized Tamil. Because we had specialized Tamil, we could read all those things. So therefore, the languages was very versatile. People didn't have any sort of objection to any language in them. Basically, you can't stuff any language unless a person is prepared to learn it. Because learning a language is considered to be one of the greatest expertise and the greatest qualities of human being. That's how it has come about. So therefore, there is no sort of a difference in these things in the celebrations. The Halasya Mahatmyam and Trivilayadal Puranam. There were 64 Trivilayadas, 64 miracles, the mystical experiences that has happened. So all these experiences are being demonstrated in every month here. You might have heard a very famous story called Puttukku Mansumanda Kadai. So when there was a flood in the river Vaigai, the king ordered everyone has to come, send one person for doing some work, to raise the river banks. One old lady, she couldn't do anything. She was only selling, the puttu, which is being made, because like made of rice flour, she was selling it. But when she couldn't do anything, but she wanted to do, because then and the Shiva went in the form of some laborer, and he said, if you give me puttu, I will do it for you. He did like that. So a lot of mystical experiences, it is there and all. So it is being enacted every month. See, every month there will be one Trivilayada will be going on and all. So finally, Meenakshi, this is also part of it. It's basically just to have a knowledge, because these are all not formed by the human beings just for the heck of it, and these are all have a scriptural background, and they are all really seem to have happened, because there are some places where the evidences are there for what has happened also. So this is just for the purpose of knowing this particular story and all. Now coming to our Kathopanishad, we were in the mantra number 1.1.8 and we have seen the first part of it. Asha pratikshe sangatam sangataim sunrutam cheshta purte putra pashuncha sarvan. This is the first one we have seen, how Asha and what is Pradisha, Sangatam, Sunrutam, Cha Ishta Purta. What is Ishta? There are 7 Ishtas, for personal growth. That also we have seen. Like, because we have to have Agnihotram, and because we will have to have this Veda Anupalanam, we will have to do Satyam, and we will have to do the tapas, because following, the vratas and all those things. And then Adityam, because anyone who is coming to the guest, who will have to look after. And Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara is our waking stage experience, because how we are able to get there. It will have a very, very important connotation the next month. Next verse, because we will just keep it in mind, as to how it's come about and all. And this Adityam, because when it has been given, because they are why, the entire Yama and his wife Shamala, so they are so concerned, because that they have to take care of Atiti. We have also seen the importance of Atiti Devo Bhava in Sanatana Dharma and all. So this also has a great, because in it's there in all the cultures. Because in all cultures, because it is looking after the guest is Atiti Devo Bhava is inbuilt. It is not something has come out of the blue. Despite that, here in South India, in particular in Tamil Nadu, it was very, very great. As I was telling in villages, how we were waiting for some guests to come and all. Even now it is there in interior villages. If you go sometime, you will not be without anything. And even if there is no facility, someone will come and offer and all. See, in fact, in my lifetime, in my days in villages, I have never seen people buying milk or the curd or the sort of buttermilk and all. It is available in everyone's house. If you don't have it, you go and get it. You go and anyone will give it to you, because they, in fact, if you want something, they will give much higher quantity, very big volume. There's so much of affluence was there at the time and all. Not only that, more than affluence, you had the mind to give. The idea to give was inbuilt in that. It was there and all. That's why in Thirukural, we have got one adhikaram, what we call, one small chapter called Virundombal. Virundombal is so important in this part of the country as it is. See, that is why, that entire the 10 mantras, 10 kurals, what they have given is fully onto Virundombal. Because the same thing, because the same Kathopanishad says, what Kathopanishad says has been highlighted. You will find some of the kural highlight the same point of view what is being explained in this Kathopanishad. It was surprising. If you see that, how great people think alike, because when we say, not only they have think alike, they have experienced alike, they have brought it out alike. That is why, all this Thirukural or anything like that is considered to be the greatest. Irundombi ilvalvadellam virundombi velanmai seidar poruttu. Because Vedanmai, in the sense, it is agriculture, Vivasayam, we call it. So basically, they were considered to be the highest, because they were the one who were producing and they were the one who were willing to share. Because that means, when you are doing anything, in the villages and all, it is basically to take care of, the people who come. And that's how you are doing it. That is considered to be part of your duty. That's how it has been taken. It has given so much of higher importance. In fact, in this context, I will bring it, because so that some of us, can know some of the wonderful things that has happened in the literary field also. The Kambar, who has written the Kambaramayana, he was the great poet, but he had to undergo a lot of trouble. The life is not really rosy for him and all. So I think he had his son called Ambikapati, he was tested and all those things. But finally, when he was in some sort of, when he was not so well off, it is only the people who are doing the agriculture, they have helped him. In fact, there was one particular, the verse is there, but though there is a controversy, they are not saying, it's not the Kamban who has written, it is written by someone else and interpolated and all, but there is a verse. It is Chettimakkal Vasalvali Pohomi. Chettimakkal in the sense who are in the business, who are Vaishyas. Puttimakkal Vasalvali Pohomi. Chettimakkal Vasalvali Selvome. பொட்டிமக்கள் வாசல் வழி போகோமே பார்ப்பார் அகத்தை எட்டி பாரோமே என்னாலும் காப்பாரே வேளாளர் கண். இது someone, because they say it is, but it is there in those days, because the people who are really willing to help, without you expecting them, is supposed to be this particular thing. So that this taking care of the people, by those who are producing and who are doing, because when we say, the putra pashunche and all, they are the one who are creating, this particular thing has been highlighted in this. And apart from that, because when it has happened, in so this one and all, they say it is like a Velvi, in the sense, it is a yajna. See, when you are taking care of someone, same thing as Shamala has tried to bring it, to Yama's notice, it is a great yajna we have to do. When you are looking after someone, who has come to the house, it is a tapas. That is how it is taken as the part of the tapas also. Just a minute. Hello? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. எங்க இருக்கீங்க? Just a minute, I'll just come. எங்க இருக்கீங்க நீங்க? அங்க நீங்க முன்னாடி வரணும். இந்த ஹாஸ்பிடல் இரண்டாவது ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரீட் இருக்குல்ல, அங்க வாங்க. அங்க இந்த ரேட்டிங் ஷாப்ல இருக்குல்ல, குவாலிட்டி இருக்கு. அந்த சர்ச்சோட ரேட்டிங் கடைக்கு முன்னாடியே வாங்க. இங்க இருக்கு. Sorry, I think there was a small intermittent. So that is very important, because if you don't do it, even that it is said, what are all the consequences? That's what we are going to say. So even tapas, this aditi is considered to be so important. That's how we have called the Ishta and Purti also. We said, what are all the things normally we have to do it for the society as a whole. In those days, what they said, Vapi, Kupa, Tataka, and then, because it is anything like a Chowtri or Devalayam, and then, you have a Udyan. All those things, we were supposed to do. If you do all those things, even if you don't take care of the guest who is coming as Aditi, we have described who is an Aditi, then whatever you have done, all the effects will go off. So when it goes off, because you are all trying to do that, because this is the great human duty to do for which we have come. These are all ordained to us. Ishta Purti, when we have done, if it goes off, what is that finally we are going to gain out of that? So this is exactly, this mantra was trying to say. And the second part of the mantra, we will do it. Etat vringre, etat bringte. Bringte in the sense everything will be destroyed if you don't do it. Purushasya alpamedaso. Purushasya alpamedaso, in the sense, if anyone, any guest who has come, who is there, without whatever, the Purushartha who have done, everything will be Artha, Kama, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, whatever you have done, Vringte. They will all get destroyed. So if it gets destroyed, because whatever you work for all these days, will go off. So this is exactly, this particular, he explained. Further he says, Yasya Anshan Vasati Brahmano Grihe. The one who has not taken anything. Anshan, in the sense, who has not taken anything. It's not even food. Not only food. He has not taken any of the hospitality, what you are offered and all. And then Brahmano Grihe. Brahmano Grihe, in the sense, Brahmano we have decided, we have described, what a great quality a person should have, not by the birth or anything like that. It is by his jnana, it is by his inclination to get into the highest possible, the understanding of the entire human quality without any reference to any selfish interest. He is Brahmana. Anajanasya Shushushu Karmaha, when we said, when he does something like that, he is the Brahmana. When that Brahmana Grihe is there, you are going to lose all your benefit. In the sense, even it is not, even Dharmaraja Yama is not going to be free from that, because the rule is rule. Once it has been formed, a rule is rule. That's why, even when the God has taken avatars, he has not broken any rule. Even when he has taken the avatar as Narajanma like Rama, he has gone by whatever has been ordained to a human being, what he has to do, he has gone by that meticulously. He has not just compromised because he is the ultimate power, he can do anything at all. He has not done. That is the integrity of the creation, and that is the integrity of the avatara, to show how the people can still follow, because one can't say, because these are all the impossible for us to do in these circumstances. We may say that. But despite that, those who are following, they will be able to do it because as they strive to do it, they will be able to do it. This is what exactly has been brought about. So this Etat Vrinte Purushas Alpamedeso. Alpamedeso, in the sense, who is having a small mind, he only will not take care of the guests. See, this particular mantra says, when you don't do it, you are Alpamedeso. Alpamedeso, in the sense, because you see, there is a story in Tamil Nadu long before. Poor man came, because for alms in the morning. The lady of the house, because the one who is the master of the house, she said, because look, I can't. You go to the next house, we can't give anything and all. So after she went, his mother-in-law came. She is the senior master of the house. She came and she called that beggar again. Please do come and all. So she kindled the hope in that fellow. I think, that lady, I think she's arrogant. Maybe she didn't want to give, and maybe this lady. She called him and told him, she doesn't have any authority in this house. I only have the authority. I am telling you, go to the next house. She also didn't give anything. That is the Alpa Medaso. That is exactly Alpa Medaso. This story reflects what is Alpa Medaso. In fact, Alpa Medaso is reflected in most of the scriptures because you cannot have that quality. That is a so undesirable, so unwanted quality. No one can afford to have such a quality. So this is exactly, because this particular quality, no one would like to have anyone in the lineage. That's why correspondingly, Thirukural also is there. Udamaiul inmai virundombal omba madamai madavarkan undu. If anyone doesn't think he has to entertain or he desists from entertaining anything, he is a madamai and he loses everything. He is not eligible to do anything, whatever profession he is in. Because the Thirukural exactly, it's almost you will see every Upanishad or every sort of the Gita, whatever is there, you will find a corresponding linkage in the Thirukural and all. That is why this Thirukural is considered to be, because Anuvai Thulaitu Kadalai Puhuttu Kuruhattharitha Kural. Within the small sort of atom, they have stuffed in 7 C's and they brought it about. So that is the level of, within couplets, they have brought in the so much qualities and all. If you see, the one Quran for explanation, in some Parimelagar and all, it runs into pages. It consists of so great concepts, it's all being brought about. So that's why you should not have Alpamedaso, because you are just losing. Not only that, you are not intended to do anything because you are not eligible. You lose your yogyata. That is exactly, that says and all. In fact, like Mahatma Gandhi used to say, because like so many other great people, Tilak and Balagangadhar Tilak used to say, whenever you have anything and all, any problem or when you have any sort of agitation in your mind, whenever you want to find an answer, you get into Bhagavad Gita, read, you get the answer and all. The same thing, has been said by one great poet, Tamil poet. He is called Purashi Kavingar, and he is a Bharatidasan. He has said, Aramidandru yan arhilada bodu. Whenever I don't know what am I to do, when I am in a quandary, when I am confused, when I am totally confounded. Aramidandru yam arhilada bodu Tamil Irayanar in Kuralil or sol eduthu yemba mattaya. This is what he said. Because just when you refer to that, you will find an answer. It has got 1330 great couplets in 133 chapters. There is not a single thing that has not been dealt with. All these things are being dealt with in every other scripture. Like Bhagavad Gita is considered to be it is a sort of extract of all Upanishads put together. It is nothing but the entire Sara of Upanishad. So if you read Bhagavad Gita, whatever Upanishad gives the same knowledge, it gives it in a capsule. But Upanishad gives in little more detail, so you are able to understand, and it gives you the way to change. Bhagavad Gita gives you the knowledge. Upanishad propounds you to change. It takes you to a higher level. That's why, Upanishad, when we go, first once you know, these are all the great concepts. But how am I to adopt? How am I to imbibe? How am I to develop? Once you want it, then you will have to come to the Upanishad. This is exactly happened. So coming to this, now with this, because now this has happened and he has not taken anything. Here also one more thing we will have to bring about. We also said Nachiketa did not take the hospitality because his only aim was to get the knowledge. Another one is he doesn't want to get someone else's wealth or someone else's resources to be available to him. See, this reminds me of one great, one of the words of one of our common friends, myself and Shankar knows. He became a very senior bureaucrat, secretary to the level of the government. He used to say, you should not aspire for what you don't deserve. See, you are aspiring because you think you are deserving. So that's a very profound statement. Because everyone, I think, I deserve so many things. But do I deserve? Because that means you should not aspire for anything. See, that is exactly, the indirect meaning. If you explore fully, that's what it comes about. So like, someone, let us say, even in the organization, it may happen, you may not be at your level, we have got every level, every facility available and all. Sometimes, you may be given some extra facility because, that you have been given additional responsibility or something like that. When it is there, when you try to find, what type of, what type of responsibility, what type of a facility you are getting it and all, if you are getting enamored of it, well, I think that's not going to help you. In the sense, because you may think, you got it, because by virtue of, you are doing something extra and all. In fact, you should not take it. That's what, the normal ethics says and all. The greatest important, the greatest story we can refer to is in Ramayana, when Kaikeyi finally got the entire this kingdom for Bharata. Bharata didn't know, he was in his grandfather's place, mother's maternal grandfather's place. Finally, he was brought in and all. When he came, he didn't know what is happening. He was totally aware, oblivious of what has happened in this entire whole scenario and all. And he was like a young man, aspiring young man. He was getting ready to get into all sorts of arts and ready to occupy, any position that will be given in the kingdom, because as a servant to his, as a sort of assistant to his father, assistant to his brother and all, he was willing to take all those things. But finally, when he was told, because you are going to be the king, the immediate reaction is, it is not mine. How can I take it? So that is a beautiful, that poem is there in the Kambaramayanam. தாயுரை கொண்டு தாதை உதவிய தரணி தன்னை தீவினை என்ன நீத்து சிந்தனை முகத்தில் தேக்கி பொயினை என்ற பொழுது புகழினோய் தன்மை கொண்டால் 1000 ராமர் நின்கீழ் ஆவரோ தெரியணும்மா. Even 1000 Ramas will not be equal to you. So that is the level of sort of, you don't aspire. Anyone could have taken when it is offered to him. Yes, you have been given, why don't you take it? Someone will say, because it has come to you, take it. That's what the human tendency is. But he said, it's not, absolutely, I'm nowhere near to that. I'm not eligible to get that. That is why Kamban went to one step ahead. He said, even if 1000 Ramas are qualities are taken together, even they will not be equal to your great quality. Because you have not considered, that is, you deserve that and you have not taken it when it was given on a platter. So that is exactly the quality Nachiketa he has given, because Yama will not entertain every one of us. Assuming, even some human being goes there, he will have to be taken, as to what is due for him. He will not be entertained in the house because there are jnanis like Nachiketa and all. But when he has gone there, when he was about to entertain and all, he is not willing to take it. Am I deserving that? But because he has come solely for the purpose of getting the knowledge. He knows he is getting, he doesn't want anything else. Even if it is offered, he deserves only the knowledge. He wants to get that because that can be provided only by Yama. That's what he wants to take it. So he doesn't want to get into this teeny weeny things, because what is being offered. Because of course he could have gone there and he's waited there and all. For him, the purpose is not that, to get the knowledge. And then subsequently we will see how not only to get the knowledge, he is not going to remain there. He will eventually be coming back, because we will see that. See, he has got so many things ought to do. That's why he has not touched anything, that is not his. So, if you go to a place, so many things are kept, and you can take anything and all. If you don't need anything, you may not take anything, but it will not happen. You will try to pick up. See, they have told, because you can take anything, let me take a small thing. That's what the human mind will say. But when I don't need anything, nor these things, it's not mine. I will not have to take. That will not come to everyone. See, this is that highest quality is bringing about. It is exactly the same Kamban has taken, the Bharata to such a level that even 1000 Ramas will not be equal to him, because that is the same quality Nachiketa is reflecting here. So coming to that, the next mantra we will go immediately after that. He has spent he had to spend 3 nights there. On 3 nights he has not taken anything at all. What is the 3 nights? Why not 3 days? Why not 3 full days? Why, because why the Upanishad doesn't say that, And a lot of them say, when you say night, because it's also day, because that's how, they are giving it. But it does have a great meaning. It does have a great connotation to the human mind. And we will also see how it is there and all. In that, see the next mantra 1.1.9, you take to page 15, you will find Tisra Ratrihi Yet Avati Grihami, because three nights, Avati, because Avas, Avas in Hindi is the place where we are staying. Avat Sihi. Avat Sihi, in the 3 nights he has stayed in the same house. Tisra Ratri Yat Avati Grihami, as you have dwelt 3 nights in my house, because you have dealt in the house of 3 nights, Anshanan, without taking anything, not even food, not even a drop of water, not taking any hospitality. Anshanan Brahman Atiti Namasyaha. Namasyaha in the sense you have not taken anything, and because this is Yama says, because first Shamala was trying to offer nothing. Once Yama comes and she asks him, you please go and offer him whatever is to be offered. He's the guest and we have failed in our duty, because by we are having failed in our duty, we may be losing all the benefits of our great work, our dharmas, our arthas, kama, moksha, and whatever we have done, we have served as per our duty, we will lose everything. You please go and take care of him, so that, because at least he can be assuaged. You can only set right the thing. That's why he has been sent. Vasade Anshan Brahman Atiti Namasya. You Brahman in the sense he is the Jnani, because he has got only the knowledge, because he wants to get the knowledge. And after getting the knowledge, because you will see, because what are all the things he is going to do and all. He is after the knowledge. Why that knowledge? Because he has seen everything, whatever in the life, because whatever worldly things, whenever he has seen in the earth, they were all not having any meaning to him. He was an introvert. He was not talking because he didn't have any sort of aspiration for anything. He has seen everything, how people have seen and all, but he was at the highest level, because he has gone into the internal journey. So when you become an introvert, you get into the internal journey when you are able to see everything, because into a different light. So that will give a great meaning. He is totally internally enlightened, but externally, he will not be able to express anything, nor he is willing to express, nor he is bothered to express. It is as simple as that. So when it's that Anshanan Brahman Athitir Namasya, Namasya in the sense, because he offered him, he gave him Namasya in the sense, he said Pujaniyaha. So Pujaniyaha in the sense, in the normal life, who are all the Pujaniyaha? All the 3 Acharyas are Pujaniyaha. So all the 3 Acharyas are Pujaniyaha in the sense, like the Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya and all, because they have all created, the greatest thoughts, and they have also have created a greatest, because the philosophy they have brought in, and they are Pujaniyaha. But a Panditaha is a Mananiyaha. That is the difference. Just a minute. So Namasyaha in the sense is a Pujaniyaha. See, this Pujaniyaha, it has been taken, he gives so much of regard to him. So he is such a great worthy person. For him, because he has failed to do, now he wants to assuage him. Assuage him, whatever the failings in the duty, as the Atiti has to be looked after, since they couldn't do it, they want to do it. Namasyah, namastestu, Brahman swasti mestu. Namastestu Brahman swasti mestu, in the sense, you just be, fulfilled, contented, so that, we don't get any bad effects of not looking after the guest. Namastestu Brahman swasti meyastu taspat taditrin varan vadan vrinishvar. We have done a great harm to you not looking after 3 nights you are here. And therefore you are a Pujaniyaha, you come for a great purpose. We understand that. We couldn't look after. So we would request you to forgive us, and we will try to do whatever is possible to please you. So do not have any ill will. Do not have any discontentment in the mind. Atithi should not be discontented. That is what he is requesting. Here one thing we will have to see why it is said, because it is 3 nights he has spent, and what is the so importance of the 3 nights. And the 3 nights have got a great significance. As we said, when you are in the internal journey, you are into, because the external world is, you are not concerned about. The external world, always sort of takes you out and all. As we have seen in Mandukya Upanishad, Jagrata Sthana, Swapna Sthana, and Sushupta Sthana, all the 3 sthanas are there. In Swapna, what happens in a Jagrata Sthana, when we get up every day from the Sushupta Sthana, it is a cycle. When we come, every time we sort of, redefine ourselves and refine ourselves to get into the highest possible elevation of ourselves. Why? So that we do not have any unfulfilled desires, any more expectations in life. Because having seen everything, supposing initially to go by a flight may be a sort of a fancy. After going so many times, because you are not bothered about it, is a sort of another botheration, because you will have to do so many things, and it doesn't have any meaning to you. It's a means of transportation. If you have to go from one country to another country, one continent to another country, that's a means of transportation. It doesn't have any meaning other than this. So therefore, we had to finally, because we take it as in that sense, we don't take it as some sort of, the facility that is offered, something, we have been given extra privilege to talk. It doesn't have, initially, first time you may have a meaning, afterwards it will not have like that. So once you have that, finally what happens, you become, we also said, we used 2 words, in the Mandukya Upanishad. Apta Samanvita. Apta Samanvita, in the sense, once you don't have any desire and all, you become someone who is worshipful, in the entire world. You become someone as a leader. So the Apta Samanvita and the Adi Samanvaya and Apti Samanvaya, 2 words we used. When you have that, you give up all those things. So that happens because at that time the Jagrata, when the world is there, the Jagrata, it doesn't have any meaning. Because what happens is there is a same thing when you go into the internal. For the external people, for normal people like us, the bright side, because the day what we consider as a day is a night for those who are elevated. Because when you don't have any desire, don't have any aspirations, you are fully into your internal journey without any break. You are totally into that, you don't have any desire, you don't have any ambitions, you don't have any unwanted thing and all. You are getting into that. Whereas in the other one, the normal material person, for him it is very important to be in the journey and all. For night, it is for him only to sleep and sensual pleasures. That is the night for the man who has not elevated himself. The man who is elevated, the rishis, munis, who have gone into the self-control and they gone into the highest level, for them the night is very important. The night is when they are able to what their internal journey. The night doesn't mean it is a figurative. It is not that night and day as we see in the sun is there and sun is setting and all. It is your internal journey and external journey. Once you are always elevated, you do not have any, even when you are living in this world without no ambitions and all, because this doesn't have anything at all. See, what people consider as a night for you is a sort of a day for you. You get into that. That means that is when for normal people it is night. For you, you are elevated. It is the plane when you get into the highest level of your elevation. That is why 3 nights when it is said, 3 nights he is always elevated. He has not longed for anything. He has not asked for anything extra. 3 nights without food, anything and all, he could remain in the sense he has gone into the highest level of internal journey. This has been, this entire mantra has been brought in corresponding to second chapter, 69th mantra of Bhagavad Gita. We'll just see that mantra. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyapi. What is night to others? Ya nisha sarva bhutanam, like normal people, common people like us, tasyam jagrati samyati. For them, because when for them it is samyati in the sense, those who have given up, for it is they have elevated, jagrati. You get into, your mind has elevated, you have elevated, you have gone to a different level. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pasyato munihi. So it is like that. For others, it is, for them it is, they are not able to control, they are able to get into, because they still have wants, they have got desires. When we are like common people like us, when we have, for us it's a night and day as it happens, the sunset and after sunset and the before sunset, what is there, that is the day and night. For them, the person who have elevated, that is different. That is why when they say Trisra Ratri, because he has gone to such a level. He didn't have anything, because if he has not failed, he has gone into the highest level of internal journey. So he was not enamored of anything that is available in this world. And for him, it is always Jagrata, continuously. As they say, the Jivan Mukta, when we say, the Jivan Mukta, when we say people, great people, who lived in this world without any sort of affectation, without any ill will, and without any Ragadvesha, and without any wants, they are Jivan Muktas. It is very difficult. See, on one hand, to live in this world with whatever is available in this world for your pleasures and for your use, and still you are able to give it up and still be in internal journey, as has been sort of highlighted by the 69th verse of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, as exemplified by the 1.1.9 of this Kathopanishad. It's very difficult. This is the highest goal, this Upanishad tells you, because normally we will see how is it possible? Will it be possible for us to do? But the Upanishad takes us to that level. Say it is there, you can go, because Nachiketa has gone there. If Nachiketa has gone there, I think someone else, if you try to become a Nachiketa, you can become a Nachiketa. It is giving you a goalpost. It is showing you the way. That's what it is showing. That is why, in the Bible also, see, this has been, all these thoughts have been considered in all religions. A friend of mine, who is a very, sort of a very, very enlightened Christian, and he used to be a very close friend of mine. He used to quote a lot of biblical words, and one word he used to quote is, one man can't serve two masters. It is really, you see, you will find in the organization, you are, sort of, you will be reporting to someone managerially, and functionally you will be reporting to someone. The functional reporting, because if you are in the finance, you got it, the finance, everything has to tighten. And managerial, you will have to open up everything, because you will have to open up the resources and get the things done. You should should make it happen if you are in the managerial position. A finance man occupying a managerial position, if he continues to be a finance person, he will be a failure. He has to change his attitude. So likewise, one man can't serve two masters, because normally this line of authority is given so that, the functions also work well and the organization also work well, but there will be always a conflict. Like, be in this world and don't get attached to the world, when we see Jivan Mukta, it's a very difficult. The people who have gone to that level, only far and few between, maybe few in numbers only can be like that. We can't be like that. That is exactly it says. Why? This biblical word can be exemplified in everyday life. Your wife may be thinking you have lost your mother. Your mother may be thinking you have lost your wife. So you are not available to her because both of them may be thinking. But one common denominator is both of them think you are lost. You don't know to whom you are lost. Now that's why we have come to Upanishad now. It is like that. So it's the one man can't tell two masters. Now you will have to see the circumstances, Kala Desa Vartamana. Depending on that, you will have to do the things which pleases either and go about it. That's what exactly happens. So this is exactly has been brought about here. In the sense, when you are able to get to that level, doesn't matter. It doesn't. You see, whoever you are, even you may be a mighty monarch or a peevish beggar, doesn't matter. For you, nothing, everything is same. You will not be able to see if you don't want anything, you're not going to touch it and you don't have any ambition to get anything. The position what you are in is not important at all. This has been highlighted by all great masters. In fact, Viveka Chudamani, because of the Shankara's magnum opus, it has been said, so is in Vishnu Tattva Nirnaya also. Srimadvacharya has given it. In Sri Bhashyam also, Ramanuja has given so many quotes. It is the what you are, what is your position doesn't have any effect on that as long as your internal journey, you are steadfast. You can be like that. So if Janaka, like a king, he could be as enlightened, he was there, with he could have got everything and all, he didn't get, but then, he was a king, he was a Raja Rishi, he was that. At the same time, a poor Brahmin, who was eking out the life, on day-to-day basis, because that is a lot, when you are having a Vidya and you will not have Saraswati, Lakshmi with you, that is it. We have seen in a lot of cases, because they are not being so given the right honor, because the society has got to look for so many things, it happens. But then, despite that, because they never take it amiss, because they steadfast, they whatever, you can find a lot of people, irrespective of what they have got, in what circumstances they are there. It is to give the equanimity of life in whatever be your position. That is, this mantra 1.1.9 says. Then he says, because since he has done a great, because this has happened, because he has to forgive, he has to do that. And the three knights also, another thing, what we discussed, we have called avidya and kama, karma. They are the basic three demons. If you are able to ward off all the three, that is, they are like three dark nights. If you are able to survive through avidya, kama, karma, then you get into the highest possible internal journey. So the avidya is the causal, karana sarira. And kama is the subtle, because it is the sublime, because it is kama is the desire that comes in the mana. So there is subtle, and kama, karma is action when you are doing it. It is physical. So when the causal body, sublime body, subtle body, and the physical body, when you are able to survive through this avidya, kama, karma, you are entitled to get the three boons, or but it is not a boon, we will say, because the three requests, what is being honored, it is being given to him. So how we say, this avidya, kama, karma, see, if you take all the 5 fingers, the first 4 fingers, they develop avidya, kama, and karma. And the last finger, the index finger, it represents the jiva. And the thumb represents the Paramatma. So we are always, when we are having all the 5 fingers open in this world, we have got avidya, kama, karma, jiva, we are there. We are just experiencing everything. We go for whatever is happy tide, and whatever is not desirable, we don't go for that, which is we feel suffering and all. And the thumb is the one, which is the Paramatma. So that's why when you say the mudra, when you give it, the mudra when they give, when jiva gets into Paramatma, you are able to ward off all the 3, avidya, kama, karma. That's why, you will feel everywhere, this mudra is there. Yoga mudra, this great mudra which is there. It is basically when you get into the highest level of your internal journey, and you get into the height of it, you get to this avidya, kama is being kept off, and you are getting into the highest possible. And this is why, because when you do yoga and finally when you do samadhi stage and all, this is how you have to keep. so that you are able to keep all the avidya, kama, karma away. That's why we said even when the Tripundra, when the Vibhuti is done, it is to ward off avidya, kama, karma. Even Urdhva Pundra, when we put also to keep, the 3 we put it is also to keep the avidya, kama, karma under. So the 3 nights have got a great significance, in warding of the avidya, kama, karma, as well as it has got a great significance for normal people with the desire, what is night is for the greatest elevated rishis and munis, that is where they are able to get into the internal journey of highest. So that's why, it happens. And with this, we will be going into then after that when it happens. Now he said, because since we have done a great injustice in not looking after and you also not availed any of our offerings, you just ask us, we will be able to give you. Dharma, the Yamaraja says, I will be able to give you 3 of your requests fulfilled. It's a boon, it's not a vara, it is a request. Though it is called the Prashna, we may be seeing this world which is coming here as a Prashna. It is not a Prashna, we will be forthcoming in this end. It is the request that is being, he gives, because he is eligible for that. He has tested, because 3 nights in the sense, all the 3 nights significance we have said, he has survived through avidya, kama, karma, and he has also gone into the internal journey, and he has gone into the greatest rishis, how they can get into the inward, introvert journey, and he has gone into that. So he is eligible for that, he is going to get it. So then, we go to the next mantra, 1.1.10. This we will take it up and then we will go for the detailed explanation next week. Shanta Sankalpaha, in your page number 16 it is there. Shanta Sankalpaha, Sumana Yata Syat, Shanta Sankalpaha, Sumana Yata Syat, Vitamanyuhu. See, Shanta Sankalpaha, Sumana Yata Syat. Sant Sankalpaha Sumana Yata Syad, he is asking, Upanishad takes you to a different level. When I get back, so why he has not taken any hospitality or anything like that, he has to get the knowledge, he has to get back, because his father, because asked him to go, he said he is going to give Yama, he has gone there. But now he is requesting Yama to give the boon, Shanta Sankalpaha. That is what he says. How is he asking? So in the Tisro Ratri Namostu Brahman Swasti Me Astu Tasmat Prati Trin Varan Vrishniva. That is, he has Dharman Varan Vrinishva. 3 Varan, that you ask 3 requests, I will fulfill. That's why first one he says, first I will have to see that my father is not unhappy with me. Shanta Sankalpaha. That means he has given indirectly a desire that he has to get back into the body again. Shanta Sankalpaha, Sumana. Sumana in the sense he should be of a pleasant, he should be happy, he should be doubly happy to deal with me. Not that, he gave some sort of, the curse, that he didn't, you are a boyish, you said something, I will give you to him, Dadasmi, he has given it. He has to be happy with me when I get back. He should not have any sort of a rancor. Shanta Sankalpaha Sumano Yata Syat Vitamanyuhu. He should not have any sort of hatred towards me. Vitamanyuhu in the sense, you should not have any sort of a Vitamanyuhu Gautama. Gautama in the sense in his father's name is Avdalaka, but Gautama in the sense Gotra is being represented, he is also called as a Gautama. Like everyone Bharadwaja Gotra is, they used to call Bharadwaja. Like he is called Vitamanyuhu Gautama. Vitamanyu Mahama Ma Abhimrityu, because towards me, he should not have any sort of hatred towards me. When I go back, he should be able to accept me. He should not think I am a ghost. I am not available for some period of time in the earth, and when I go there, he should not feel like that. He should accept me with full-heartedly as his sort of a beloved son. He should not have any hatred towards me. This is what Ma Abhi, towards me, Mrityu. Mrityu in the sense, he is addressing Yama, he is telling him. So then when I am sent back to him, Tvat Prasrishitam. Tat prasharitam, when I am sent back to him, Mad abhivadet pratitaha, may he greet me and recognize me. So let him receive me, with a sort of, with the same love and affection which he has showed as a son towards me. Let him do that. Yetat trayanam prarthanam varam vrani. Because he has asked the first one. For prasharitam, when you are sending it to me, when you go, so prasharitam in the sense, it is coming out of prashitam, because we must have seen in the Kathopanishad, Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Preshitam, because how the mind goes. Here, he is being sent back. When he said pratishtitam, prasarishtitam in the sense he is being sent back as it is. He is there, the soul has come there, the body is still there. The soul has to go back to the body, occupy, and the same body and soul will have to be accepted as a beloved son without any hatred. And all those things, he is requesting for. This is the first mantra. I think the 1110, the first sort of boon he is asking, first request he is asking for. And then naturally Yama will give, because what are the conditionalities he puts in, how he gives it, we will see. So likewise, the three are there. This will also have great understanding, we will have to do. Sorry, I will have to go back 2 or 3 times, because some Amazon delivery was there. Second, some disturbances were there. I think anyway, I had to manage that. No problem. Anyway, we will go in detail, with the 1110 onwards, because 1110 onwards, I think, next 3 mantras are going to be very, very great detail, because 3 varas which is Yama is going to give, and each vara it is going to be explained up to 1.1.15. It is all the acharyas have great exposition, and based on that only, because we will be able to proceed to the further of the first valli, where we have got another 13 mantras, 29 mantras are there in this. With this today I will conclude this disturbed session. Sahana vavatu, Sahana Bunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi, Tejasvinavadidamastuma Vishvidavahaihi, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we will have a small meditation. I have just lined up. This is again, just to keep us in touch with the Upanishad, what we have read. Again, a part of recital of Mandukya Upanishad with Om as the prime one. Again by the master, Pandit Jasraj. We will just go for that in a minute.